Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's episode of Morte. Hello Andrew and Danny and everyone come in. Andrew and Jane, I hope you're enjoying your breakfast over there in New Zealand this morning. Hello Kathy, come in. Very excited. We're beginning a new season tonight, new tales, as we do Sir Beaumain's tale, and there is much in the way of adventure, sorcery, smiting. Can't forget the smiting. There will be smiting, there will be horses, there will be all that great stuff in store. So, looking forward to that. Hello Kathy, hello Danny. Welcome. How are you guys? I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Hello Joe. Joe, come in. Take up a seat. I hope that you're well. I clearly am. I'm in a very good mood. I'm feeling very good today. I finally finished doing the longhand bit of my prose writing. So today at about 7:30 this morning, after months of work, I finally wrote. What did I write? I wrote the end on the story that I'm working on. So it just needs transcribing and redrafting, and it'll be done. But hooray! Excellent, Joe. That's right. That's the right response, guys. Yes. So in a tip-top mood. Thank you very much. Hello, Dee. Come in. Andrew, porridge. Are you putting anything with your porridge? I can't do porridge by itself. I've got to mix it in, usually with raisins or jam. Nice jam. But thank you guys, thank you. Glad to hear you're on board for that one. As I say, tonight we'll give it another minute or so, but then we'll begin the tale of Sir Beaumain. Say hi, Darren, come in. This is a long series to go through, but actually quite a nice one. Very well, Darren. I am very well, thank you. How are you? I'm looking forward to getting started with this one. Oh, that's a shame. It shouldn't be. Oh, dark brown sugar. I'm using that. That works, Andrew. I'll give you that. That would make it sorted. You got snot from Apple support yesterday. Rubbish. Shame upon Apple. We will smite them, D. When we're done, we will smite them. Hello, Carly. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Did you manage to catch yesterday's episode? Carly, we did Keats yesterday. But you went there, so I decided to hold off on doing a pot of basil. And we'll do a pot of basil on a night when you're free. So I didn't want you to miss out on that one. We did some other poems instead. Still good fun though. It should be on Catch if you want to go and watch that one. But hey, we'll all get there in the end. That's the important thing. Oh, I'm sorry you were poorly, Carly. I hope you're feeling much better now. It's rubbish being sick. I get sick like for 3 days. Yeah, but when I am sick, I feel awful. I don't like not being able to do anything. But yes, Dee, you should complain. And actually what we should do is get a load of armour and horses and banners and ride up to the Apple offices, which would probably be awesome, actually. If only we could. Anyway. Wow, is everyone ill in some way tonight? Andrew, I'm sorry that you're injured. Dee, you have been injured by Dee and her real swords, have you? There you go, Andrew. A real life night for you all, ladies and gents. Falling off his horse though, so I hope your ankle gets better soon, and your arm, Andrew. Wow. Joe, you're fine. Excellent. Well, let's touch wood. That nothing happens to you, Joe. Wow. You are a merry band of injured knights tonight. And well, as for those of you who are injured or aggrieved with Apple for those of you who are well and in need of a story, let's get started with tonight's tale, as precisely as Darren says, as we soldier on with the story of Sir Beaumain. So, to bring you all up to speed to where we are in the tale of King Arthur. Arthur has won a successful campaign against the Holy Roman Emperor and has returned home to Camelot. Camelot, within England, a land that should now be at peace, where the threats within his own castle from his sister Morgane Le Fay, the witch, have been stopped when he exiled his sister, where his bastard son Mordred, who it was once prophesied would slay him, Arthur believes has been destroyed, and so Arthur sits upon a throne that he thinks is now stable, where there is no more threats, no more adventures to be held. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I both know that there are always adventures to be held as we get into season 7 of the Morte d'Arthur, and tell the tale of how Sir Beaumain came to King Arthur's court and demanded 3 petitions of him. When Arthur held his round table most plenor, it fortuned upon him that he commanded that the high feast of Pentecost should be held at a site at the castle, the which in those days was called King Kenadon, upon the sands that marched nigh Wales. And so ever did the king have a custom that at the feast of Pentecost in especial, before all other feasts of the year, he would not go that day to meat until he heard or had seen a great marvel. And for that custom all manner of strange adventures came before Arthur, as at that feast before all other feasts. And so Sir Gawain, at a little before noon of the day of Pentecost, espied at a window 3 men upon horseback and a dwarf on foot. And so the 3 men alit, and the dwarf kept their horses, and one of the 3 men was higher than the other by 1.5 foot. Then Sir Gawain went unto the king and said, Sir, go to your meat, for here at hand come strange adventures. And so Arthur went to his meat with many of the other kings, and there were all the knights of the Round Table. Only those that were prisoners or slain were missing. And then at the high feast evermore they should be fulfilled the whole number of 150. For then was the Round Table fully accomplished. And right so came into the hall 2 men who were dressed richly, and upon their shoulders there leaned the goodliest young man and the fairest that ever they had seen. And he was large and long and broad in the shoulders, with well visaged. And he was the fairest and the largest handed that ever any man saw, for he fared as though he might not be able to bear himself, and so he leaned upon their shoulders. And as soon as Arthur saw him, there was made peace and room, and right so they made space for him on the high dais without saying any words. Then this young man... I've lost my pace. Oh my god, I've just completely lost my pace in the story. This is terribly embarrassing. Then... Sorry about this, ladies and gents. Then this young man pulled him aback and easily stretched up straight, saying, King Arthur, God you bless, and all your fair fellowship, and in especial the fellowship of the Table Round. It's for this cause that I have come hither to pray from you, and to require you to give me 3 gifts, and they shall not be unreasonably asked, and that you may worshipfully and honourably grant them to me, and it will give you no great hurt or loss. And the first done and gift that I will ask you now, and the other 2 gifts I will ask you on this day in 12 months' time, whereso you hold again your high feast. Now, ask, said Arthur, what ye shall have your asking. Now, sir, this is my petition. For this feast that you will give me meat and drink sufficiently for this 12 months, and at that day I will ask my other 2 gifts. My fair son, said Arthur, ask better, I counsel thee. For this is but a simple asking, for my heart giveth me to thee greatly, that thou art come of men of worship, and greatly my conceit faileth me, but thou shalt prove a man of right great worship. Sir, he said, thereof be as it may, I have asked that I will ask. Well, said the king, ye shall have meat and drink enough. I never defended that none, neither by friend or foe. But what is your name? I would like to know. I cannot tell you that, said he. That's a marvel, said the king, that you knowest not thy name, and you art the godliest young man that ever I saw. And then the king took him to Sir Kay, the steward, and charged him that he should give this man all manner of meats and drinks of the best, and also that he had all manner of finding as though he were a lord's son. That shall little need, said Sir Kay, to do such cost upon him, for I dare undertake he's a villain born, and never will make man, for he's come of a gentleman. He should have asked you of your horse and armour, but such as he is, so he asketh. And since he has no name, I shall give him a name, and that shall be Beaumain, that is to say, fair hands, and into the kitchen I shall bring him, and there shall have fat broast every day, that he shall be fat by the 12 months' end as a pork hog. And right so the 2 men departed, and left him to Sir Kay, who scorned and mocked him. Here we go, ladies and gents. It is the Feast of Pentecost, and a strange knight has come to the court of Arthur, fairer than any have seen before, a huge man, who has said he will request of Arthur 3 favours. The first is to be fed for 12 months' time. His second 2 favours he will ask at the end of those 12 months. Arthur has asked this man to be treated as if he were a lord, but Sir Kay, steward of the castle and half-brother to Arthur, has seen him as naught but a vagabond. We continue the second half of tonight's tale as Sir Kay deals with this man, Sir Beaumain, that Darren is perhaps rightly suspicious of. And thereat was Sir Gawain wroth, and especially so, and Sir Lancelot bade Sir Kay to leave his mocking of the man, for I dare lay my head, he shall prove a man of great worship, Lancelot said. Let be, said Kay, it may not be by no reason, for he is, so he hath asked. Beware, said Sir Lancelot. So you have the good knight Brenor, Sir Dinadan's brother, a name, and you called him a coat-mail fail, and he turned you to anger afterward. As for that, said Sir Kay, this shall never prove none such. For Sir Brenor desired ever worship, and this desireth bread and drink and broth. Upon pain of my life he was fostered up in some abbey, and howsoever it seemeth, they must have failed to give him meat and drink, and so he's come here for sustenance. And so Sir Kay bade to get him a place and sit him down to meat. And so Beaumain went to the great hall, and set himself down among boys and lads, and there he ate sadly. And then Sir Lancelot, after meat, bade him to come to his chamber, and there he should have meat and drink enough, and so did Sir Gawain. But the boy refused them all. He would do none other but as Sir Kay commanded him. But as touching Sir Gawain, he had reason to offer him lodging, meat and drink, and that offer came of his blood, for he was nearer kin to him than he knew. But that, as Sir Lancelot did, was just because of his great gentleness and courtesy. And so thus was Beaumain put into the kitchen, and he lay nightly as the boys of the kitchen did, and so he endured all that 12-month. And never did he displease man or child, but always he was meek and mild. And ever when he saw any knights jousting, he would watch as all he might. And ever would Sir Lancelot give him gold to spend on clothes, and so did Sir Gawain. And where there were any masteries done, there he would be, and there he might none cast a bar or stone him by 2 yards. And then would Sir Kay say, "How liketh you, my boy of the kitchen?" And so it passed on till the feast of Whitsuntide, and at that time the king held it at Caerleon, the most royalist way that he might do, and he did so early. But the king would have no meat eaten until the Whitsunday, until he'd heard some adventures first. And then there came a squire to the king, who said, "Sir, you may go and eat your meat, for here comes a damsel with some strange adventures." Then was the king glad, and he set himself down, and right so there came a damsel into the hall, and she saluted the king, and prayed him to listen and give aid. "For whom?" said the king. "What is the adventure?" "Sir," she said, "I have a lady of great worship and renown, and she is besieged with a tyrant, so that she may not get out of her castle, and by cause here are the noblest knights of all the world, and I pray you to give aid." "What is the name of your lady, and where does she dwell, and who is she, and what is the name of the man that has besieged her?" "Sir King," she said, "as for my lady's name, that you may not know, not at least at this time. But I will let you know that she is a lady of great worship and has great lands, and as for the tyrant who besieged her and destroyed her lands, he is called the Red Knight of the Red Lands." "I know him not," said the king. "Sir," said Gawain, "I know him well, for he is one of the perilous knights of the world. Men say that he hath 7 men's strength, and from him I escaped once, just only with my life." "Fair damsel," said the king, "there be knights here who would do their power to rescue your lady, but by cause you will not tell me her name, or where she dwells, and therefore none of my knights that are here shall go with you by my will." "Then I must speak further," said the damsel. And further shall the damsel speak, ladies and gents, but not tonight. We will continue this tale tomorrow and find out all about the Red Knight of the Red Lands. Darren, you did make it! That's awesome. I was wondering where you'd gotten to. Thank you so much for getting here live. In fact, Darren's here, ladies and gents, and the next chapter is only a short chapter. Because Darren's here, I will continue. We've got only half a page for the next section. Darren, especially for you, because I've missed you so much, and it's been so long since you've caught the show live. I'm going to go and continue a little bit longer. So big round of applause, ladies and gents, for Darren, for managing to get in here. With these words came before the king Beaumain, the kitchen boy. And while the damsel was there, he said, "Sir King, God thank you. I have been this 12 months in your kitchen and have had my full sustenance of food, and now I will ask the 2 gifts that you still owe." "Ask, upon my peril," said the king. "Sir, this shall be my 2 gifts. First, that you will grant me to have this adventure with the damsel, for it belongs to me." "You shall have it," said the king. "I grant it to you." "Then, sir, this is the other gift, that you shall bid Lancelot the Lake to make me a knight, for of him I will be made knight, and of no other man. And when I am past, I pray that you let him ride after me, and make me knight when I require him." "All this shall be done," said the king. "Fie on you," said the damsel. "Shall I have no other knight to save me than your kitchen page?" Then she was wroth, and took her horse and departed. And with that there came one to Beaumain, who told him that his horse and armour was come for him. And there was a dwarf who had arrived with all the things that Beaumain needed in the richest manner. And thereat all the court marvelled from where came that great gear. And so he was armed, and there was none but a few goodly men as he was. And right so he came into the hall, took his leave of King Arthur, and Sir Gawain, and Sir Lancelot, and he prayed that they would come after him. And so he departed, and rode after the damsel. But there went many after, to behold how well he was dressed in gold. But he had neither shield nor spear with him. And then Sir Kay said all open in the hall, "I will ride after my boy in the kitchen to see whether he will know me for his better." Said Sir Lancelot and Sir Gawain, "No, wait at home." But Sir Kay had made himself ready, and took his horse and his spear, and rode after him. And right as Sir Beaumain overtook the damsel, so came Sir Kay, who said, "Beaumain, what, sir? Do you not know me?" And then he turned his horse, and knew it was Sir Kay, who had done him all the despite, as we have already heard. "Yes," said Beaumain, "I know you for an ungentle knight of the court, and so beware of me." And therewith Sir Kay, taking offence, put his spear in the rest, and rode straight upon him. And Beaumain came as fast upon him, and with his sword in his hand, so he put away the spear with his sword, and with one straight thrust knocked him through the side, so that Sir Kay fell down as if he was dead. Then Beaumain alight from his horse, took Sir Kay's shield and his spear, and started upon his own horse, and rode his own way. All that was seen by Sir Lancelot, and by the damsel too. And then Beaumain bade for his dwarf to start upon Sir Kay's horse, and so he did. And by that Sir Lancelot was come. And he offered Sir Lancelot to joust, and either made ready. And then the 2 knights came together so fiercely that either bore down each other to the earth, and they were sore bruised. Then Sir Lancelot arose and helped him from the horse, and Sir Beaumain threw his shield from him and offered to fight with Sir Lancelot on foot. And so again they rushed together like boards, tracing and racing and foining to the mountenance of the hour. And so Sir Lancelot felt that so big, and he marvelled of his strength, for he fought like a giant and a knight. And the fighting was durable and passing perilous, and for Sir Lancelot, who had much ado, he dreaded that he would be shamed in the fight. And he said, "Beaumain, fight not so sore. Your quarrel and mine is not so great that we might leave it off." "Truly, that is true," said Sir Beaumain, "but it doth me good to feel your might, And yet, my lord, I showed not the utterance. There we have it, ladies and gents. Sir Beaumain has come from the court. This kitchen boy, it seems, has been a knight all along. At the hour of need, when adventure has appeared, he has come, dressed himself in armour, headed off, and Sir Kay, wanting to put him in his place, has chased after him, but been defeated. Thank you, Darren. Well, Darren, I completely understand the writing bug. Darren number 1. I've got so many Darrens. Groovy Darren. I'm going to go for Groovy Darren and Writer Darren. Groovy Darren. Absolutely, you are right to be suspicious. And Writer Darren. And I hope your new book is coming on. There we go. Simple. Daz and Darren. Well, Daz, you're right to be suspicious. And Darren, I hope your new book is going along well. And it's meant a huge amount that you found the time to come along and listen to me ramble. So I hope you enjoyed. Daz is a writer too. My God, we are beset. What is the collective noun for a writer? Do we have a parliament of writers? A murder of writers? Many writers. Well, Daz and Darren are both writers, and I hope they're both going along well for you. Good Lord, chaps. I love this chat. And Susan's a writer and a poet. And of course, Dee is also a writer, hiding away at the back there, Dee. We know you're there. Excellent. Fast is the way to do it, Darren. I wish I could get things out quickly. I'm a bit of a slow writer these days. As is Jess. My goodness gracious me. We've just got stacks of storytellers in the room tonight, which is awesome. Awesome to have you all here. That'll be our collective now. We've just got storytellers in the room. A guild of storytellers. We should have that, actually. We do. We've got a guild of writers in the UK, but I'm not a fan of the guild of writers. They don't look nearly as cool as they should. But yes, there, we should have a guild and have all of our storytellers together. A murder of novelists is nice. I'm tempted. Well, we can have guilds or murders. I think a murder of novelists suits me. A murder of poets. Murder is just an awesome collective now, isn't it? I'm a big fan of using murder wherever we can. Not in the killing sense. If anyone, the UK government is watching or hacking into this show, no actual murder, just a collective noun, guys. Can't be too sure who's watching, but yes, a congress of novels. My God, we should have a competition as to who can get the best collective nouns going. Rob is a writer, but not a storyteller. Well, Rob, what would your collective noun be? I like that meme. I like that. Murders what right are good. Yes, Rob, you're a writer, so you can come into the murder of writers and the murder of poets and novelists and all that good stuff. Do it, Darren. Do it. Go form it. Form it. Shoot the link out, and I will join the link, Darren. Do it. Do it. I think it needs to be done. It needs to be there. I will totally. There you go. You've got an audience, Darren. Get it up there. Folks, go follow Darren on Twitter so we can tweet it out and we can go and join the group. There. You've got a group, Darren, that's already sort of packed out, full of writers and storytellers and poets. So hit it, link it. I'll make sure it's retweeted as well. Let's get this one going, guys. I'm excited. I like this. This is what I like from a Tuesday. Creativity, people doing stuff, coming together. That's the wonderful thing about Periscope. So yes, Rob does piano stories. Excellent. I'm looking forward to getting some of Rob's piano stories. That's going to be fun. There we go. I'm following Rob for his piano stories. Looking forward to this. Well, Rob, I am looking forward to hearing your piano on Periscope. That will be fun. We've got that there. Here we go, free-ranging conversation. Darren does scope sometimes. He does indeed when he gets the chance, Danny. I noticed just before I started over 3,000. I was massively psyched. I spent most of the day at work looking, seeing if we could get to 300,000 before we started the evening. So, fab. Yes, we do have fun chats, Rob. But what I'm about to do, we're going to go on to our Poetry Live show next, which is now. So I'm just going to go and come. Fab! High five for over 300,000, Jess. Nicely done. But I'm just going to go quickly close this scope down, open up the Poetry Live show as we go and do some Edna St. Vincent Millay for D. So thank you, Darren. Yes, I was. At some point, I swear I am actually going to make a banner to hold up. So thank you, Darren. Thank you for pointing out the website. I'm awful at remembering stuff like that. So yes, SimonTellsTales.com, guys. Go and take a look. But in the meantime, closing this one down, jumping it back up again, and then we'll go and do some poetry. Thank you, chaps. Thank you very much. I am doing poetry tonight, Susan. I'm just about to start doing some poetry tonight. So yes, that's going up there. Darren's going to be starting a group for writers, which is awesome. So that's it. Please go follow Darren as well when he does scope. And sometimes Darren's even kind enough to go and read us out some passages from his upcoming book, which is really nice. So more book reading, Darren, as a hint. More book reading on Periscope, please. That's what it's here for. I enjoyed it when you did read, so please, let's get some more of that. Anyway, jumping down, jumping back up again.